Hey guys, I hope that you guys like my new approach on my YouTube channel where I just let the church fathers do all the talking. I think it's way better than my previous channel where I was trying to analyze current events too closely, etc., etc. I think the whole purpose of my original videos anyway were basically to help other people realize that it was end times and for what reasons it was end times. But thankfully, as the whole year has passed, so many people have waken up to the fact that we're in end times. I mean, even Protestants, Protestants and Catholics realize this. So there's no need to sit there and keep trying to explain to people that we're in end times when most people already know by now. But what I do want to speak of in this video is basically to debunk the whole idea of 30 years of peace, the whole idea of a marble king or a sleeper saint, and in fact the idea of a Russian Tsar. So, the more you look into Church Fathers' prophecies, they mention nothing about 30 years of peace. They mention nothing about a marble king. They mention nothing about a sleeper saint. And they mention absolutely nothing about a Russian Tsar. And so these are the false prophecies that are circulating very heavily in the Orthodox Church, right? So why are they false? Why are they false? Well, first of all, there's very important figures that we should be paying attention to that will be coming. For certain, because it was written not only by church fathers, but in the Bible. These prophecies of the Marble King and 30 Years of Peace and Sleeper Saint and Russian Tsar have no connection to the Bible or church fathers. So, right there, that's huge red flag. Very huge red flag, okay? They're just random prophecies that randomly cropped up within the last century. And so, as a matter of fact, in the last century, it was the Russian Tsar that cropped up that false prophecy. And it seems that the Marble King prophecy has been around for 1,000 years. So, we're just, over here, I'm just trying to brainstorm. Why are these prophecies false, right? So we already see that the first red flag is that they have no connection to the Bible or connection to church fathers. And we also see that there's a lot of things that are described in these prophecies that show that it's not the mark of a Christian, it's the mark of a evil type of being that's coming, a very evil, sinister being that is going to come. And here's my whole point I'm trying to say. So not only is it not mentioned by any church fathers, these prophecies, or by what's written in Scripture, but there's important figures for us to pay attention to. Enoch, Elijah, and St. John the Evangelist, the one that wrote the Gospel, are coming. And that's because they never died. So they're going to come back. And when they do come back, they are going to evangelize the entire world, and there's going to be a big battle of good versus evil, meaning those three prophets and the evangelist, those two prophets and the evangelist will come and gather the true Christians to try to help them and aid them, while Antichrist and the false prophet and all the evil forces will come and deceive the rest of the world. Okay, so these are the very important main figures that we're supposed to be paying attention to. Okay. There is zero mention of other good figures out there. All right. I mean, if there is, I'm just trying to think of what the church fathers, if they might have mentioned someone else. It certainly wasn't a Russian Tsar though, or like a Marble King, or any of those things. There could be something else, but I can't think of it right now. So, these are the figures that we should be paying attention to. All right, that are actually important, and we know for a fact will come. Okay. What we shouldn't be paying attention to, and we should disregard because they can easily get mixed up for the Antichrist and the false prophet, will be the Russian Tsar and the Marble King, and here's why. The Marble King is said to come from the ground. The false prophet in Revelations, and according to church fathers Saint Cyril of Jerusalem and Saint Andrew of Caesarea, say that the false prophet come from the ground. He will come from the ground. So, how is the Marble King coming from the ground, and same with the false prophet, right? It's kind of evil. I mean, we even watch Frankenstein, for example, and we see that Frankenstein comes from the ground. It's very, very evil and sinister sounding, you know. And there's many reasons why. There's many other reasons why this whole prophecy is wrong. Because, for example, Saint Paul says that the son of perdition comes after the falling away. Well, we already know that most of the world already fell away because they believed in Corona. So, and I'm talking about the Christian world, right? So, if the falling away already happened, now the only thing that needs to happen is for Antichrist to pop up. If there was a 30 years of peace, St. Paul would have said the falling away would happen, then 30 years of peace would come, and then Antichrist is going to show up. But the falling away has happened, and he doesn't mention anything about 30 years of peace. And you know what I'm saying? So to me, that's the reason why 30 years of peace, that's the biggest reason why it doesn't make sense. There's many other reasons, but I'm not going to go into it because there's no point. So, now let's talk about, for sure, why the Marble King prophecy and the Russian Tsar prophecy are both false, okay? And Sleeper Saint, whatever. So, the reason why they're false, I'll read you something from the Russian Tsar that sounds exactly like the Marble King one. And they both sound very eerie, like it's going to come from somebody that's very evil and devilish and satanic, okay? Right? It goes, he goes, that the people themselves will restore the Orthodox. A mighty Tsar will be placed upon the throne by God himself. He will be a great reformer. We know Antichrist is going to reform a lot of things, which is why everybody's going to love him, right? He's going to reform politics. He's going to reform governments, money. He's going to reform religion. He's going to reform everything. Okay, and he goes, and he will be strong in the Orthodox faith. Watch this. And Antichrist, for the Orthodox Christians that believe him, will believe that he is restoring Orthodox Christianity, by the way. Okay? He will cast down the unfaithful hierarchs of the church. Now, for the Marble King one, it's hilarious because the Greeks actually think like this is a good thing. One Greek guy, his name is like Christian Prophecies, blah blah blah, and he's from Australia. He's the one, he himself with his own words said, Marble King will kill all the unfaithful bishops and priests. And over here, cast down doesn't sound too far off from killing, right? So when they see Antichrist killing a bunch of good, faithful Christians and priests, they're going to be like, oh my God, that's the Russian Tsar, guys, and these priests were so evil that they needed to be killed. Let's go worship him now. It's that simple. You guys got to be really careful with these false prophecies that have no connection to the Bible or the church fathers. Okay. He will cast down the unfaithful hierarchs of the church. Okay. And go look at this, man. This sounds verbatim like Antichrist. He himself will be an outstanding personality. Well, we know that Antichrist will have an amazing charismatic personality that's going to rapture the hearts of the world, right? Everyone in the world, most people in the world. With a pure and holy soul, Antichrist will appear very religious and holy. Okay? So there's that, right? Now, let's go down. The Lord has forechosen the future Tsar. He will be a man of burning faith, of brilliant mind, blah, blah, blah. He will bring about order, removing all the false heresy preaching and lukewarm hierarchs, and very many indeed, almost all, a few exceptions, will be removed by him. Very many indeed. Okay, so while new ones, true and steadfast hierarchs will take their place. Okay, so to me that just sounds like, once again, it could easily be mixed up, because Antichrist will kill anyone that is actually doing Christ's will. And we know that there's not too many faithful ones now, so removing many, it is what it is. I don't want to get too technical with it. To me, it still seems like a red flag thing, because I just don't see orthodoxy being restored from the state that it's in now, and I see that there's going to be catacombs, and that's it, and the majority will be fooled. So orthodoxy appearing to be very strong and supposedly restored by true and faithful bishops, how does that even play out during end times? I'm not too sure. Me personally, I'm not too sure, because we know that there's going to be a great apostasy when Antichrist comes, and only a few people will be believing Christians. And when that happens, it's not going to be happening on a grand scale in the church out in the open in a whole country. It's going to be in caves and mountains and in the wilderness, secret, very, very secretly. So once again, you guys could go ahead and believe this. I don't want to pose arguments and stuff like that. I'm just letting you know that for me personally, I believe that it's very false. I believe that's exactly what Antichrist is going to do. This is a perfect prophecy of Antichrist. Antichrist will come. He's going to remove anyone that's faithful. Okay? And it might not be many of them, because most of them are not faithful now. He'll remove anyone that's faithful. He might even remove the unfaithful ones just to replace them with even worse ones. All right, and it'll appear that he's removing all the bad ones. Okay, all of the bad ones, and replacing them with good ones. Just like the Serbian patriarch that recently died, got replaced by a complete crooked one. Okay, and there's more crookedness to come. So, that's what I see happening. There's evil hierarchs all over Orthodoxy right now. They might get removed for more evil ones. That's how I see it happening. Okay? So, I hope this makes sense to you guys. Be careful of these foolish prophecies. Pay attention to the ones from the church fathers in the Bible that connect to the Bible. And those are the good figures that you're supposed to watch out for. Those are the three main good figures you're supposed to watch out for. Enoch, Elijah, and St. John the Evangelist. Period. Alright? There's literally no talk. There is no talk of anything from Russia, anything from Greece, any of that. Alright? So, hope this makes sense. I know it's going to trigger a lot of orthos. And that's okay, because at this point my channel is more catered toward any Christian, because I want these Christians to become Orthodox, and maybe they'll have more of a common sense and the grace of God to not fly with the buffoonery that's with a lot of Orthodox Christians right now, that are going to be deceived very soon. Which, let me tell you, is the reason why I really believe in that prophecy 100%, because not only is it in the Bible, but church fathers expounded on it, about Egypt, Assyria, and Israel coming to Christ while the world falls away from Christ. A world that includes Greece and Russia, by the way, okay, and all the other Orthodox countries. And I'm going to tell you why. Alright. So after reading quite a few church fathers, there will be a group of Jews that are going to get heavily condemned and deceived by Antichrist, and just, they're going to fall for him, while there's a group that completely denies him. And we see it happening now, because a lot of Israelis are coming to Christ, okay? And Jews worldwide. So there's that, right? Egypt, there's going to be a huge transformation and it's going to happen very quickly and instantly with them, where the whole country becomes Orthodox Christian. And Assyria is going to join with Egypt and Israel. So, why do I believe in that prophecy so much? Well, it was definitely mentioned in the book of Isaiah, and church fathers expounded on it. But we are clearly seeing a lot of Russians, a lot of Greeks, and a lot of the Orthodox Christian world falling for these modern prophecies. And they're going to be big-time victims of these modern prophecies, because they will, through these deceptive prophecies, believe in Antichrist. They will believe that Antichrist is Jesus Christ or a Tsar or someone good. And the false prophet, they're going to think the false prophet is somebody good. And that means what? That means while the rest of the world is falling away, the Egyptians, Israelis, and Assyrians will be coming to Christ very strongly. So it makes more and more sense as time passes. You know, we're clearly seeing this type of apostasy in orthodoxy, and a very strong kind of revival in the Middle East. So, God bless you guys. I'll catch you in the next one.